Good evening, people. Good evening. I hope everybody is well. Thank you to every single person in the chat room right now. Appreciate that. Thanks for the love. See what you guys are saying. Xhaka out. Peng squad, where you at? You lot are mad. Seriously, you lot are crazy. Let's let him put his chat in there. I don't know why it comes up with some of these. It says show or hide. So it sort of reviews a few of these. Maybe it's my settings. I don't know. Oh, Jesus Christ. VP, good evening, my friend. And thank you very much for my Stella, buddy. Thank you. I thought I'd have a couple of cans. Then I'm going to go and chill out for a couple of hours, go to sleep. And then I'll be up bright and early in the morning to do my daily transfer updates. So keep your eyes peeled for that. If you missed my stream from earlier, feel free to go back and check that out as well. And thank you to nearly 17,500 of you that are currently subscribed to my channel. It's mad. I can't believe how quick this channel has grown. What's this saying? Oh, good God. Yeah, for Ashiji, your comments, jokes, bruv. Listen, as soon as I get to about 20,000 subscribers, I will be doing a podcast. Like I said yesterday, I have got a couple of people already lined up. The first two, thank you, VP. The first two are already lined up. The first one and the second one are people that you may know. I don't know, you might know them. So yeah, but I am going to mix it up. I'm going to do quite a few different things with my podcast, and also I'll put it out to you guys as well to basically pick the name. Pick the name of the podcast. I've said yesterday on a previous stream that give me your names for podcasts. Leave it in the comments of this video as well as the one I did the other day. I've already got one name, so I'm looking for one more name, and then I'm going to stick them two names out in a poll on YouTube, and then I want all of you guys to go and vote on that poll, and then that will be the name of the podcast. I'm going to pick the two. I've whittled it down. I've got one already. I need one more name that I think's sick, and then I'm going to put it to you guys, a public vote for you guys to pick the name of the podcast. So yeah, one of them, I'm not going to say the name of the one I've picked so far, but yeah, I'm looking for one more name, and then I'll stick it out to you guys, and you guys can vote and decide what the name of the podcast is going to be. Also on Thursday, I'll be doing a live stream on here with Guna Eagle Eye, my boy Chris. Go and subscribe to Guna Eagle Eye if you haven't. We have a little competition we want to run with you guys where you decide how our channel looks going forward. Either of our channels look going forward. We want to put it out to you guys. At the end of the day, you're the people that watch it. Without you, I wouldn't be sat on my sofa in my gaff talking into a Mac. So yeah, we appreciate that. Waiting for the Xhaka rant to begin. Don't worry, it's coming, mate. I'm easing my way in gently. So yeah, like at the end of the day, you know, you guys watch my channel. Without you guys, I wouldn't be on 17. I'm actually looking at now 17,440 subscribers. And I set this up in November, 21st of November. So that is absolutely mad. So thank you to everybody who has subscribed. And if you want to see the podcast and you're new, subscribe, get it up to 20K. As soon as it hits 20K, we'll get that ball rolling. Like I said, I've got the first two people already lined up. I've got 3 or 4 more others waiting in the wings. They've already semi-agreed to come on. But it won't be a live podcast. It'll be a pre-recorded podcast, and it'll be something completely different compared to other Arsenal podcasts, should we say. There is other people that do it the way I'm going to do it, not necessarily copying them, but they're not Arsenal related. So yeah, there we go. But thank you to over 100 people already tuned in, watching live. Smack a like on the video if you're liking it. Like I said, if you're new, subscribe. When I get to 20K, we'll get the ball rolling on a podcast. But let's get into Granit Xhaka. I famously once said on a previous channel that I had, is Granit Xhaka Albanian for pass backwards? And you know what? I get DM'd that at least a couple of times a week from people. I'm in a couple of groups and stuff like that, and WhatsApp groups, and people still remind me of that. And it is, what does he do? I don't get it. But before we get into me going into a little bit of a meltdown about Granit Xhaka, let me read his actual quotes rather than misquoting him. So I'm going to read his quotes, right? He was asked after the Switzerland game yesterday. He's been linked with a move to Inter Milan. I don't know whether that account was fake, whether it was not fake, whether it was actually his cousin or not his cousin. Who knows? I don't know. But he was asked by a reporter after the game, would you be leaving during this transfer window? And he said, not that I know. I have another 4 years left on my contract. I only signed last year. I'm happy there and my family are too. That's the most important thing. He also then went on and insisted he was ready to inherit the captain's armband. Wow. Okay. He put, he actually said it would certainly be the dot on the I. Right. Now, let me get into my thoughts on Granit Xhaka, because a lot of you are new to the channel. A lot of you, obviously my phone's on loud, Stella Talks. That's a good name, to be fair. But a lot of you don't know my thoughts on Granit Xhaka. Listen, at the end of the day, this guy has been here for 3 seasons now. In that 3 seasons, we have not finished inside the top 4 once. Right? Now, people can say to me, he's got great passing, he's got great passing range, this and that. No, he ain't. He passes sideways and he passes backwards. He don't track runners. He can't sniff danger. He can't tackle. People think he tackles. Yeah, oh, his recovery stats are amazing. No, they're not. Okay, they're not. Go and compare him to somebody like Kante, Idrissa Gueye. They're not awesome stats. So only fools and podcasts. That's a good name, that is, Dan. But yeah, they're not great stats. So not only that, people then go, oh yeah, Xhaka boom. No, more like Xhaka really. Yeah, he has one shot every now and again that flies in the back of the net. Other than that, his shots go flying into row Z. They go flying out for throw-ins and dribble just wide. We see one yesterday, or whenever the game was against England. He had a shot and it literally just p-rolled. Wavy, thank you for your donation, buddy. Appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, he literally had a shot that just p-rolled past the goal. Now, I'm not being funny, right? £35 million we spent on this geezer. 35 million quid. We're paying him 90 grand a week. He's just signed another 4-year deal. So that's what? 18 million quid in wages. Add that to the contract he already had. Add that to the fee. This guy's going to have cost us over 70 million quid if he goes full length on his contract. Now, can somebody tell me what I have missed with this geezer for him to warrant £70 million? Really? A £70 million investment. Like I said, the guy's rash. He don't sniff danger. He doesn't track runners. Against West Ham this season, he let Declan Rice just walk straight off of him and score the winner. Against Brighton, the last game of the season in the league, he gave away a penalty and walked off like he couldn't care less. And it's like, you're tipping yourself to be captain. Have I missed something here? Because a captain don't kick someone in the box and then just stroll off like it's nothing when top 4 is riding on that. I'm sorry, but that ain't on. It ain't on. And, you know, I don't, like I said, I don't know if the reports to Inter Milan were true. I don't know whether that was just a fake account that set that up. I don't know. But it went viral. It went all over the media, the written media, the audio media. It went everywhere. Xhaka out, clueless. I won't say what you put, but I get your drift, Alex. But yeah, it's like when you look at how much money we've actually paid this geezer and then compare him to other midfielders in the league. This guy is so one-footed, it is unbelievable. If you pass the ball at pace to him on his right foot, he has to take a touch and put it onto his left foot. By the time he's took a touch, a good team that are pressing you high, bang, they're straight on him. Yeah, that's then when he becomes a liability. When you play a team that stand off you and let you have the ball, yeah, he looks great. He looks fantastic. How many times does that happen a season? 3, 5, 6 times maybe. In Europe, that might happen. Not in the Premier League. I'm sorry, but how many games this season has he been, wow, you are man of the match today. You were fantastic. His goal against Newcastle, I was at that game. I was up in the gods. I was up in the sky, and I actually called that he'd score it, and he did. But even that, the keeper should have saved it. There's been the one against Man United. It weren't a great shot. It's gone in. Listen, they all count. I ain't slagging him off for having a dig, right? But at the end of the day, he's having a dig maybe 3 times a game, and he scores 4 goals a season if he's lucky. So I don't know. Yeah, he is dog shit. He is dog shit, VP. But yeah, I don't know. Listen, at the end of the day, I don't like the fact that he's coming out. Obviously, he's not going to come out and say he wants to leave, is he? Let's be real. Because him and his agent, if they do want him out, he is under a big contract now. He's under a 4-year contract. I'd imagine that he's still on 90 bags, maybe more a week. And they're not going to openly admit that he wants to leave, are they? Because that drives the price down. So I get it's all PR, but at the same time, to come out and say that's the dot on the I to be captain, mate, you ain't a captain. Yeah, a captain leads by example. A captain, you only got to go and have a look up at Liverpool. Liverpool's captain. Everyone laughed when Jordan Henderson got the captain's armband. Yeah, that guy's more of a captain than Granit Xhaka will ever be. Yeah, that guy will single-handedly run around that pitch non-stop, doing everything in his power because he appreciates playing for Liverpool Football Club. Does Granit Xhaka care about Arsenal? No. Granit Xhaka likes the idea of playing for a big club in London and the exposure that gets by playing for that big club. He doesn't love the club. I see somebody tweet out earlier, a mate of mine, Giles, tweeted out about Aubameyang and how he's got a loyalty bonus. And he was like, why are we giving him a loyalty bonus? He's been here 18 months. But that was part of his contract. I've actually seen fully grown adults tell me that Aubameyang loves the club. No, he don't. Do you seriously think Aubameyang would come here if it was 50 grand a week? Of course he wouldn't. Yeah, Aubameyang's come here because he loves money. Right? And they all love money. It's a short career. Get as much as you can. I don't knock him for that. Right? But to be told that Granit Xhaka is one of the best midfielders in the league, and if you can't see what he does, you don't understand football. Well, maybe I do, and that's why I think he's shit. Because at the end of the day, I've watched football for over 30 years, right? And this guy is on par with the likes of Denilson, John Jensen, players like that. I've not seen anything spectacular from this geezer for me to sit there and go, wow, he is an absolute baller. He's worth every single penny of his 90 grand a week. They're all mercenaries. Exactly, Georgie. They're all mercenaries, mate. But you know what? I don't knock them for that. Listen, they've got a special talent. Listen, I can sit here and say Granit Xhaka's shit, yeah? He's better than all of us sat here watching this right now, and me, right? He's not shit. Let's get that right. But fill up the Datsun and drop him off. I might actually buy a Datsun one day, you know. But listen, for a player to make it to the top level, you're not going to be shit. Let's be real, right? You're going to have something about you. But then there's different levels from making it professional, right? You make it to a professional in Germany or wherever it is he started, right? German football, I'm sorry, everyone's saying he's shit. German league football, listen, a lot of players from the championship could go and look good in the German league. And that's no disrespect to their league. But at the end of the day, there's 2 teams over there, maybe 3 teams over there that'll give you a game. Other than that, the rest are pretty average, aren't they? So yeah, there's a lot of championship players out there that will go and perform well in Germany. You've only got to look at Jadon Sancho and Reiss Nelson. They can't even get in the first team at Man City and Arsenal. They've gone out to Germany, slapping that league apart. Reiss Nelson's obviously fallen off the wagon, but you know, that was because of injuries. He had a little bit of a problem in terms of turning up late for training, etc. But Jadon Sancho's gone out there as a young boy that couldn't break into Man City. He decided to leave, and now he's doing bits over in Germany, right? So, you know, the other example I'd look at is Kolasinac, German Bundesliga team of the season. Why? Why? Because the league ain't all that. You've only got to look at somebody like Higuain, for example. Higuain in Italy, goal machine. Comes to the Premier League, he's no better than Morata. So, you know, this league it is swallowed up and spat out a lot more bigger names than Granit Xhaka. But my overall analysis of Granit Xhaka's Arsenal career is not good enough, not worth the money. Get rid of him. And if he's captain next season, there's a steward's inquiry, and Unai Emery needs to be questioned, because there's other candidates that would do the job better, perform better week in, week out, and actually have a voice. It's all well and good Xhaka pointing and giving it all that and go to the fans in the final and all that crap. Yeah, that's cool and that's great, and the fans deserve that. Because if you travel to an away game halfway around the world and your players are walking off the pitch, yeah, cool, I rate that. I don't make him a captain. I see people last week telling me because Hector Bellerin was crouched down consoling Maitland-Niles, he should be captain. Like, what planet are these people on? That is not captain material. Just because he stood there and went, oh, it'll be okay. You can go back to your big mansion, mate. Don't worry about it. Let's pretend we're really upset. I don't give a fuck. They couldn't care less about the club. They couldn't care less about the fans. They couldn't care less about anything to do with Arsenal. All they care about is the exposure they are getting and the wages that are going into their bank on a monthly basis. Thanks for your donation, Carlos. Appreciate that, my friend. Thank you. Xhaka can carry Bold's cones. For VP, man. You make me laugh. You are roasting Granit's arse right now. Yeah, I am, because you know what? He ain't good enough, and he's never been good enough, right? And the amount of people that laud this guy up as some sort of great player. Listen, this guy would be nowhere near any of our decent teams over the years. Yet our expectations have been lowered so much that this guy is now the be-all and end-all. Oh, yeah, but he gives us balance in the team. No, he don't. Man ain't even got balance. Put it on his right foot, he's falling over. Yeah, or switching it onto his left and getting pressed and giving away a free kick. We ain't got no balance. At the end of the day, we need a more mobile midfielder than Granit Xhaka. People can laugh at Gjorgjievski, right? Gjorgjievski is a better player than Granit Xhaka. I don't care what the stats tell me. Right, I've got eyes, got two eyes, and I watch him. Yeah, the guy is a liability more often than not. And the fact that he wants to stay here, well, yeah, cool. You want to stay here. Whether we want you to stay here or not is irrelevant right now. It's whether the club want him to stay here. And let's be real, regardless of what we think of him or what I think of him and what all you guys in the comments are saying, regardless of what we all think, the guy's probably worth about 40 million quid right now. He's under a 4-year contract. He's coming into the prime of his career in terms of age. in terms of age. And yeah, he's probably worth around the 40 million pound barrier. Is anyone going to be stupid enough to pay 40 million pound for him? I highly doubt it, which means we're probably stuck with him, which is another masterstroke from the previous regime. He signed a contract last April, was it? Or was it this April? Might be this April. So if it was, then it's this regime. And listen, we're going to be Cazorla Xhaka all day long, Gunner. All day long, mate. All day long. Yeah, listen, they're different types of players, but you've only got to look at Cazorla's performance up at Man City at the Etihad when he played defensive midfield. Yeah, absolutely bossed a good team. Bossed a good team. How many games has Granit Xhaka bossed? Yeah. Oh, but he does a 60-yard diagonal. And, you know, we've got centre-backs that can do that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I just do not get the hype behind the guy. You know, why can't somebody in China come in for him and just offer him like 190 grand a week or 200 grand a week and 70 million pound for him? Xhaka is a B-Tech Alex Song. Yeah, sorry, Hassan. Do you know what? You're right there, mate. Yeah, Alex Song was an underrated player. Right, listen, he ended up being a snake in the end, right? But, you know, he went to Barcelona. If Barcelona or Madrid come calling, more often than not, you're going to go. But I'll tell you the one thing Alex Song did, the amount of goals he teed up for Van Persie in that mad season Van Persie had was just unbelievable. What does Granit Xhaka actually do? What does he do? He's got no pace. He can't track a runner. He can't smell danger. He's rash. He ain't got a right foot. Sideways and backwards passing, 160-yard diagonal, and one shot every 50 that goes in the back of the net. 35 million and 90 bags a week. Not for me. Not for me. So yeah, there's my little meltdown about it. 60 yards to someone in the crowd. Yeah, normally I have to go like that when the ball's coming towards me. As soon as he shoots, I duck, mate. Let's read some of your comments. Overrated, says Jovo. Yeah, he is. I totally agree with you, says Wilson. He is overrated. Listen, I don't get it. The fact that we spent 35 million on him when we could have had Kante for £3 million less, but the overall package for Kante worked out more because he was on a higher wage, sums up all you need to know about that previous regime. To penny pinch a couple of £1 million and not buy arguably the best defensive midfielder in world football, to go and buy a geezer who does nothing. Well done. No wonder we're in a mess. No wonder we're in a mess. Would you take James Milner at Arsenal? Says can't be asked. Do you know what? I would take James Milner. They're the sort of players we need, mate. The Milners, the Hendersons, players like that that actually run around and leave everything on the pitch and do a 7 out of 10 every week. He would be much better in Italy. I agree, mate. I agree. Listen, the Italian league's a lot slower. It's a lot more technical. He might get a bit more space and look good. Kante cost less than Xhaka. Yeah, he did, Michael. He did. He was £32 million. We paid £35 million for Xhaka. And the wages for Kante was slightly higher than it was for Xhaka. So we pulled the plug. And Kante even said he'd come. Like, what's that all about? We've let him walk into Chelsea. You just want English players. No, I don't, Dynamo. I don't, mate. I don't. I want players that are actually good enough to play for the club. I've been alive 37 years, mate. I've seen bigger and better players than Granit Xhaka. He's not fit for Premier League football. Agree, Jovo. Agree. Get Eric Dyer. No thanks. He's even worse. He's not going to leave, says Omar. Beard is looking good. Do you know what? It's itchy, man. I'm going to shave it tomorrow. I'm being straight. I'm shaving it. It's itchy, man. I can't deal with this. I need to be fresh-faced. Granit is shite, says the phobic fan. Listen, he's not shite. Let's be real, right? You don't make it to top-class football and top-level football if you're crap. Yeah, let's not be stupid about it. But the way I see it is, for the amount of investment we have put into this guy, what is his output? His output is not anywhere near the level of investment. So that's bad business. And you could go through the whole squad. I'm not just singling him out, but obviously this show's about him right now. I'm not trying to single him out. There's other players that need to go before him, right? But he does need to go. He's got to go. And if we go into next season and this guy is our captain, we're in a bigger mess than I thought we were in. It's as simple as that, because there's other candidates to be captain. Lee, would you take Verratti, says Imran. I think that ship sailed a long time ago, to be honest with you, mate. Very good player, but coming towards the end of his career, mate, I don't think it'd be worth the money. I think there's better players out there, like Ndidi, like Idrissa Gueye. I know Idrissa Gueye's 30 and I keep banging on about him, but listen, that guy could come in and do a job for 3 years and do 3 years better than Granit Xhaka's done for 3 years. So, and he'd probably be on less money and he'd cost less money to sign. So, you know, people can sit here and blame the owner this, the owner that. At the end of the day, the piss poor management from our CEO that's now at AC Milan trying to mess things up there, and our previous manager have got us into a position where Granit Xhaka's now strapped up to 4-year contract and we're now going to struggle to get rid of him. Maddison, I'll take in a heartbeat, mate, all day long. All day long, I'll take him. All day long. Rabiot, somebody's put F Rabiot. Yeah, do you know what? That's another one. Yeah, he's just going to go to the place that pays him the most money. He don't care about coming to Arsenal. Let's be real. We signed Aubameyang with no Champions League. Why is that? Because we paid the most money. Nobody else was going to pay the money at that time for him, regardless of how good he is with his shots in the box. Yeah, his off the ball work rate ain't all that. And there's clubs out there that are looking at it with his age and stuff like that and looking at his off the ball work rate, and it's poor, right? Regardless of his goals. And yes, I know he's a goal scorer, but Lacazette does more work rate than everyone in that squad. Yeah, yet he still scores goals. So, you know, Lacazette and Aubameyang, you know, if you offered me one or the other, I'd take Lacazette all day long. I'd keep him all day long. Nearly 400 people watching live. Not even 100 likes, people. Come on, man. You're better than that. Let's get it up to 100 likes and let's read some of your questions out for 10, 15 minutes. Thoughts on Carrasco, says Big Bricker. Another one. He's going to the highest bidder, mate. I think he's a fantastic player, though. And if he does join Arsenal, listen, I'll back him to the hilt. Yeah, I'll back him to the hilt if he comes in. Xhaka is a stale Swiss cheese. Get out of our club, says Kartik Cordy. Do you think Kieran Tierney is the next Robertson, says I love Arsenal. I think Kieran Tierney is a very good footballer, mate. Whether he can reach the heights of Robertson, personally, I think Robertson's the best left back in the world. Whether he can do that or not remains to be seen. Listen, it's always difficult to assess a player that plays in a poor league, you know, and then comes to the Premier League. We've seen it with Leno. We've seen it with Torreira. They've both come in and looked very good. Even Guendouzi. Yeah, people have mocked him all season and said he ain't good enough, he ain't this, he ain't that. Right? But at the end of the day, he's played 47 games this season and he's a kid. And I think he's done reasonably well. So it's always hard to assess it, but I think Tierney's got every attribute to succeed at the top level and become world class. Lee, I can snap my fingers and make half of our squad vanish. Go on then, Thanos, do it. Let's hide this fool in my chat room with a Spurs icon. Let's read some more of your questions. I love Torreira. Man's only 5'4". He can't survive in the Premier League. You got a good point there, Joseph, right? He is only little, yeah? Right, and I did a stream earlier. Go back and check that out later once this is done, about AC Milan wanting Lucas Torreira. And listen, if a big enough bid comes in, which is more than we've paid for him, say 35, 40 million pounds, take the money, reinvest it. Because this season, I thought he'd done really well. It took a while to get into the team because of the World Cup, the hangover from that. Obviously, the intense training regimes that Unai Emery was implementing with his staff. And, you know, he's come in and he hit the ground running and he was fantastic. And he's kind of burnt out now. You know, he got to January, February, got a couple of little niggly injuries and he's burnt out. So if a big bid comes in for him, get rid. Listen, that guy owes us nothing and we owe him nothing. But Leno came in and he's got better the longer the season's gone on. But then on the flip side of that, you've got Granit Xhaka, who's come from not a great league into the Premier League and just looked crap since he's got it. So Quo2 says Socrates as captain. Do you know what? I'd be open to that. Socrates or Lacazette, I'd take as captain in a heartbeat, mate. Maybe make one the captain, one Kante is 5'4". Do you know what? Yeah, he is, Ryan. But Kante's proven over years that he can smash it in this league. Torreira looked absolutely knackered by February, and he ain't been right since. The Premier League games, that last run-in we had, he was a liability at times, man. But then on other occasions, he's been a one-man midfield. So it's like, I don't know. I'll give Torreira a pass. I think he's had a 7 out of 10 season. I think he's been decent. So yeah, I think he's been all right. I think he's not been too bad. Let's read some more questions. Would you take Anthony Martial, says I love Arsenal? I would, because I think he's got the potential to go all the way to the very top in terms of being one of the best players in the world. I think his ceiling is ridiculous. But I don't think Man United are going to sell him to us. I don't think they'll sell him to us. Tamandani, I hope I pronounced your name right. Everyone liked the video. Nice one, mate. Tell him again, bruv. Spurs 13 is obsessed with an Arsenal channel, so I'm going to kick him out. I don't know how to do it on my Mac, so I'm going to go and kick him out in the chat if I can find him. Let me go and find him. There he is. There he is. Get out my channel. Goodbye. It does make me laugh when other teams' fans come into a chat room and spam the comments. It's like, mate, are you asking to get kicked? Would you take Sanchez back? Only when I'm drunk, mate. Only when I'm drunk. It's like, you know, when you split up with your chick, yeah, and like you get a bit wavy one night and you're like, oh, let me phone her up. Yeah, it's one of them ones. Alexis is that side chick. He's the side chick now. F Spurs, yes, I agree, Ilias. The Good, the Bagged, and the Ugly podcast. That's the name. That's a good name as well. Like I said, I am going to do a podcast for anyone who's joined late. 400 people watching. Please put a like on the video. Only 105 likes right now. So go and put a like on it. Get it up to 200 if you can. It shares the content around. It gets it on feeds of non-subscribers, which then helps the channel grow because then people notice it. If they like what they see, they subscribe. When I get up to 20K, I will be starting a podcast. I want you guys to come up with a name of the podcast. I've already got one name. Somebody put in the comments yesterday. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that a secret. My lips are sealed right now. I need another name. Then I'm going to do a poll on here and get you guys to vote for what you think should be the name of the podcast. So keep coming in with the names for the podcast. Xhaka or Ozil, contract for Lively. Oh, God. Why do this to me, man? It'd have to be Xhaka. I can't stand Ozil, man. I don't get it. I can't stand either of them. I don't think they're any good. But no, actually, I'll retract that. I'd say Ozil. I'd actually say Ozil. I'd say Ozil because at least when he does turn up, he's decent. I've never seen Xhaka turn up. VP, thank you for your donation. 20K fund. Come on, people. Thank you, mate. Chambers in or out, says Vinny. Out for me, mate. I'd get rid. I'd get rid. Let's get rid of these spammers in here. I'd get rid of Chambers, mate. I would get rid of him. I think that we could command a fee for him, 15 to 20 million maybe. So yeah, potentially get rid of him. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's good enough to play for Arsenal. But we shall see. We shall see what happens. Lee, get rid Gunner. Lee, keep doing what you're doing all the way from South Africa. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you. Where's Rob Holding, says Imran. He's on rehabilitation, my friend. He's coming back from a serious injury that kept him out for most of the season. Gerard Delafeu says, Hassan, not for me, mate. Sancho or Mbappe, says Saroj Bala. I hope I've got your name right, mate. For me, Mbappe. I think that guy is destined for greatness. Where are all these spammers coming from tonight, man, with their little kinky stuff, man? What's that all about? There's quite a few of them in here tonight. Let's get rid. And another one. I sound like DJ Khaled. Another one. Sessignon is overhyped, says Magic Hooker. Jesus Christ, what a name. I think Sessignon's a good player, but you know what? Fulham cocked up by not selling him when they had the chance to sell him for 50 million quid. They should have just got rid straight away. They didn't, and now he's probably worth half of that. Kinky spammers. Mate, there's loads of them. I don't know where they're all coming from. It's probably a 14-year-old virgin sat in his mum's house. Love your channel, Lee. Look forward to what you have to bring this summer. Thank you, Arsenal Vlogs. Gunner Rants, says VP. Gunner Rants. That's a good name, man. Don't worry, I'll bear it in mind, man. I've literally got hundreds of you like giving me ideas for names for a podcast. So, like I said, I've got one. I need one more name, and I'll put it to a public vote for you guys. Listen, at the end of the day, you are the guys that watch my video. You watch all my streams. You comment. The likes are mad. So yeah, the love on the channel has been mental for 6 months so far. Nearly 20,000 subscribers, and well, it'll be, by the time I get to it, it'll be around 7 months barrier maybe. It's about 6.5 months right now. So if it carries on going the way it's going, not that I'm taking it for granted, by the way, then yeah, it would be mental. If you could prioritize a certain club to get the most of our players, if you could prioritize a certain club to get most of our players, which one would it be? That's a good question, Bula. I think I'd have to go with Wolves. I think their squad is mad. And what he's done down there, that Espirito Santo guy, is absolutely fantastic. They've got some crazy players. So fair play to them. And what he's done this season, he's a candidate to go and manage a massive club in the future as well. No disrespect to Wolves, but he can go up a couple of levels in terms of size of club. He's a fantastic manager. Lee, this stream is better than Love Island. Do you know what? My missus in the bedroom watching Love Island. I was like, nope, I'm streaming. Cheers for that, Jack. Lee, would you allow anyone with a level head to join a podcast? Big fan of yours, of your real honest views. More power to you, fella. 80s baby. Jefferson, I would, mate. I would consider that. I would consider that. Obviously, it's not easy to find somebody that isn't an idiot, if that makes sense. Because as you can see from all the people spamming the comments, with stupid stuff. There's a lot of idiots out there, but yeah, I would be open to people coming on it. Obviously, I know a lot of you guys live across the ponds and stuff like that, but yeah, I am open to that. I wouldn't rule it out. Let's say Majid Ahmed Xhaka must be forced out. The Say It As It Is podcast, says Eden Wolf. Just say it as it is, mate. Joanne Smith, what do you think of the new kit and which shirt is your favourite? My favourite, I'll be straight up honest, is the red. If them kits are real, the yellow one's my least favourite. I expected it to be my best. But if that is the genuine kits, that's my least favourite. I'd go red, blue, yellow in that order. So, but I will buy all three of them. Oh, look, we've got another spammer in here, man. What's going on here? Yellow is my favourite. Brad, the Miracle Boy, the Biased Gooner Talk podcast. I'm not biased, though, man. I'm not biased. I'll say it as it is. Say it as it is podcast, yeah? But no, thanks for your donation, mate. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's get rid of this spammer in the chat. There we go. Who has all this time on their hands to go and set up a fake account pretending to be an adult site? Like, really, have you got nothing better to do? Max says, Lee, how about this? Mustafi or El Neni contract for life? Mustafi. He scores goals every now and again. El Neni don't do nothing. What do you think of Ricardo Pereira and Wilfred and Ndidi, says Hamada. Pereira I don't rate as highly as a lot of Arsenal fans, but Ndidi I do rate him. I think he's quality, man. I think he'd smash it for us. Right, I'm going to do a few more minutes questions and then I'll be out of here. And then I'll be off. Don't forget, go and check out my podcast. Not my podcast. Go and check out my live stream from earlier, talking about Lucas Torreira being linked with AC Milan. Can't be asked, says Moreno. Not for me, mate. Not for me. We should raid Wolves' defence, says Rami Singh. Henry or Shearer, says Imran. If you're going straight off goal, Shearer's the best striker ever to have played in the league. If you're going as better player, Thierry Henry. But straight goal scorer, Shearer all day long, mate. Best goal scorer we've ever seen in this country. Ruben Neves or De Jong? Neves for me, mate. Absolute baller. Our youth is not getting a chance, says Lusanda. I agree, mate. I agree. I think we should give the kids a chance. We should go for Ndombele, but Stan is too stingy for that, says David. It'd be a good signing, but I don't think he's worth £80 million. Like these fees that are going around, man, it's crazy. £80 million. What's the guy ever done? You lot are mad. Some of these questions. Henry or R9? R9. He was unreal, mate. He was absolutely mad. I remember he scored a hat-trick at Old Trafford and the whole crowd stood up and clapped him when he played for Madrid. That was crazy. The Real Pundit podcast is Dre, Omar. El Nene has scored at the Nou Camp. He actually has. I think that was his first and only goal for us, wasn't it? Yeah, R9 was an animal, man. He was an absolute beast of a striker, K. Brennan. Absolute beast. Henry or Bergkamp? Bergkamp for me, Eric. Best player ever to play for Arsenal. Players' wages have increased because the TV revenue has increased. Agents know they can get more money. That's a great point, Gracious Greek. Yeah, that is a good point. And do you know what? These agents now know they can command stupid money just to do the deal. It's like, really? Like, you're taking that Pogba deal. Apparently, the agent took about 20 million quid out of that. It's like, come on, man. Seriously? We need to play 4 at the back next season. I agree. Iwobi for Ballon d'Or, says Richard. Henry or Drogba? Henry for me. Henry, better player. Drogba was the better in the finals player, but Henry was just different level to Drogba, in my opinion. Aboué or Clichy? Clichy. Do you rate Pires? Yeah, I do rate Pires, man. He was a good player. Very good player. USA beat Thailand 13-0. Is that actually serious? 13-0. Clichy or Sagna? Sagna. Ozil or Mickey? Neither really, Kevin. They're both garbage. If I had to pick one, I'd pick Mickey. He can score, and he can actually play better, more consistently, even though they're both trash and they don't turn up. But I'd say that Mickey is slightly better right now, but they're both not good enough. Right, I'm going to do until 45 minutes. So you've got 2 minutes. I'll answer some questions for 2 minutes. Looking pen. I swear every day you tell me that. Batistuta or Romario, says Darren Shires. Oh, mate, that's a tough one, man. But you know what? I loved Batistuta back in the day. That guy was mad. Yeah, that geezer was crazy. Romario was sick. Don't get me wrong, man. Yeah, I remember his little celebration with the baby and all that. Yeah, it was mad. But yeah, Batistuta, I loved him, man. Proper. Favorite beer, says David. Moretti. That's my favorite beer, but it's hard to find somewhere that sells it, man. I like Estrella, the green one. Again, you can hardly find it unless you're in Spain. They sell the red one in England. And obviously Stella, Kronenberg. So yeah, they're the main ones. The Rock or Stone Cold? Stone Cold. Stone Cold, mate. Stone Cold. Favorite city apart from London, says Linda. Newcastle in England. Outside of England, I'd say Cancun, man. Cancun was sick when I went there. Romario, 94 World Cup, absolute baller. He was, Michael, absolute genius of a player. They both were. Him and Batistuta were mad. Shirok says, I'm not going to lie, but Henry missed so many big chances for us. Roll back to the past with your memories about it. Do you know what he did, mate? I still have nightmares of that Champions League final where he missed them couple of one-on-ones, mate. We should have won that final with 10 men. Brazil, Ronaldo or Zidane? Zidane, Imran. Zidane. Romario at Barcelona. Damn. Yeah, Georgie. Mad player, man. Proper. Right. I am going to get myself out of here. Iniesta or Guti? Iniesta, mate. Iniesta. Carrasco, good signing, says Kamal. Yeah, I think he is a good signing. I don't think he'll come to us though. Sane or Mahrez, says Kabir Udin. Mahrez for me, mate. Right, I'm going to get myself out of here. Lasagna or goat curry. Joe, it's funny, TCG. I just had a curry tonight, a chicken curry. Kevin De Bruyne or Prime Fabregas. Oh, mate, Fabregas. Based on what De Bruyne's done right now, although I do think De Bruyne's the best player in the world in midfield, best midfielder in the world. But Fabregas, Jesus Christ, that guy was insane. Lozano or Ziyech. Lozano for me. Ziyech is a good player, but massively overrated based on the fact that he'd done well against Spurs. But yeah, I'm going to get myself out of here. I'll be back tomorrow morning with my daily transfer updates. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Thank you to over 400 of you that watched live. Before you all leave, go and slap a like on the video, share the content around. Go and check out my Torreira video from earlier. Is linked with AC Milan. And yeah, go and check out my On This Day from earlier on. Because believe it or not, Arsenal haven't spoken about it, but on this day in 1925, Herbert Chapman, you know that guy, the guy that's got the statue outside the Emirates for being an unbelievable manager? He joined Arsenal on this day in 1925, but our social media team at Arsenal have decided not to mention it for some unknown reason. Maybe they think football started in 1996. I don't know. Maybe Chapman changed his name through Depot to Arsene Wenger. Who knows? But yeah, they ain't mentioned it. So there you go. I have. Anyway, thanks to everybody who's liked, commented. If I didn't read your comments, don't be offended. They're going 100 mile an hour. I might put it on slow mode tomorrow, try and read a few more. But thank you very much. And I'm out of here. Laters, peeps.